Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rajwant Kaur from DAV College Jalandhar. Today we are going to talk on module Organization Structure and Change from paper Organizational Change and Development. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of organization structure. You can describe the features of organization structure. You can discuss various types of organization structure, and you can also explain structural changes required in case of planned change. So first I am going to explain meaning of organization structure. Organization structure is the framework or pattern of formal relationships among activities, tasks and people in the organization. It is the basic framework within which a manager's decision-making behavior takes place. A division of work and coordination are the basic issues involved in designing of organization structure. According to Dalton, Lawrence and Lorset, organization structure refers to the differentiation and integration of activities and authority, role and relationships in the organization. Differentiation is the differences in cognitive and emotional orientations among managers in different functional departments and differences in formal structure among these departments. Integration refers to the quality of the state of collaboration that is required to achieve unity of effort by the organization. So, structure of an organization contributes to organizational effectiveness. Therefore, it should be logical, rational and flexible. So, next comes features of organization structure. Various features of organization structure or organization, these can be: number one, organization structure is designed by top management to attain certain objectives. Organization structure results from key managerial decisions about division of labor, a basis for departmentalization, a delegation of authority and a span of control. Then next feature is people are placed in hierarchy by following the concept of authority and responsibility, and their status is determined accordingly. Organization structure defines roles and responsibilities of people and establishes clear line of authority and communication. Superiors coordinate and control the activities of subordinates. Another feature is the main purpose is to influence the behavior of individuals and groups for achieving better performance. Next comes types of organization structure. Organization structure depends upon objectives and strategy of an organization. To achieve its objectives, an organization can design its structure in number of ways, such as a line organization structure, line and staff organization structure, a functional organization structure, divisional organization structure, matrix organization structure and free form organization structure. Now let us explain these structures one by one. First is line organization structure. It is also known as scalar or vertical organization. In line organization structure, authority flows from top to bottom and unity of command is maintained till the last level of management, and workers in unbroken line, that is, each subordinate receives instructions only from his immediate superior and is accountable to him only. Line organization can be created in two ways. First is pure line organization. In this form, Similar activities are performed by individuals constituting lower level of management. You can see this pure line organization in this figure. Next comes departmental line organization. In this form, different activities are grouped under different departments and each department performs a different function. And this figure depicts departmental line organization where each department at lower level is placed under one departmental specialist, that is foreman. Line organization structure has various advantages. It is simple to understand. There is better discipline, unity of command, effective communication, easy supervision, better control, and there is development of managers as they do not have staff specialists to help and they can take decisions themselves. But this structure has many problems like overburdened managers, lack of specialization, autocratic approach of managers, and so on. Line organization is suitable for small scale organizations only. Next is line and staff organization structure. In this type of structure, staff specialists are appointed to advise or assist line officers. With increase in the workload of executives, it becomes necessary to take services of specialists. The different type of staff specialists provide services at different levels. Some staff personnel specialists provide services to general manager or to whole organization, while others provide services to line managers. Staff personnel can give advice only. They have no authority to get their advice implemented. In practice, it may be difficult to know which departments are line or staff. L.M. Prasad suggested that this problem can be resolved by classifying organizational activities in two ways. One is activities which contribute directly towards organization's objectives, and other one is activities which contribute indirectly towards organization's objectives. Departments performing former group of activities are line ones and other departments performing later group of activities are staff ones. This figure presents line and staff organization structure. In this, positions or departments in rectangles are staff and others are line. Line and staff organization structure is suitable for large organizations when they expand in the natural course of growth. It offers benefits of quick decisions, expert advice, and personal growth of employees. This structure has major problem of line and staff conflict. However, this problem can be overcome by developing mutual trust between line and staff and clearly demarking their area of operation. Next comes functional organization structure. This structure is useful for those medium and large scale organizations which have limited number of products. Functional organization structure is created by grouping activities on the basis of functions required to achieve organizational objectives, and you can see this functional organizational structure in this figure. Functional organization structure offers certain benefits like functional specialization, increased efficiency of employees, optimum use of resources, etc. This structure has certain problems also like rivalry among functional specialists, difficulty in fixing responsibility for product cost, unsuitability in case of diversification, etc. Next type is divisional organization structure. The growth of an organization through geographic expansion or product diversification forces the adoption of divisional structure. In this form, an organization is divided in various autonomous units called divisions or sections. Each division is headed by a manager and has sufficient resources to work independently. Each divisional manager is accountable to upper level of management. Although divisions are created on various bases, but the most common are product, territory and customer based. Product based divisional structure is used by multi-product organizations like Reliance Industries Limited, which has product divisions namely textiles, chemicals, oil and gas, etc. In this divisional structure, each major product line is established as an independent unit having its own functional structure for different activities necessary for the product. Territory based divisional structure is used by organizations whose activities are spread geographically like insurance or banking companies. In this type of divisional structure, zonal divisions are made, namely Eastern Zone, Western Zone, Southern Zone and Northern Zone. Each zone is organized as a separate unit and has its own functional structure. In customer based divisional structure, divisions are created according to the market served. For example, a pharmaceutical company can create 3 divisions on the basis of its customers, that is government, hospitals and retail stores. This figure shows product based divisional organization structure. Divisional structure has certain benefits such as such structure focuses on products or customers through which revenue is generated in the organization. Problem of managerial succession is resolved as divisional managers can take up jobs at corporate level. However, divisional structure has shortcomings too. It is costly and control of performance of divisions is also difficult. Therefore, there is a need of clear-cut strategies for organization as a whole as well as for its various divisions. Next comes matrix organization structure. Matrix organization structure or matrix structure implies two-dimensional structure, that is project structure and functional structure. This structure is used when an organization has a large number of smaller projects. After the completion of one project, its resources are diverted to other projects. In matrix organization structure, project manager coordinates the activities of the project and is accountable to top level management. He is usually not authorized to use organization's resources independently, rather he shares these resources with others. Every time personnel from different functional departments are called upon to complete a particular project, who may return to their original departments after completion of that project. Principle of unity of command is violated in this structure as each functional staff has to work under the directions of his project manager and functional head or permanent superior. You can see a matrix organization structure in this figure where line authority and project authority has been shown differently. Matrix structure is of recent origin and has been used successfully in various fields like manufacturing industry, service industry, non-profit organizations, etc. because of the pressure for shared resources and dual focus. In such situations, use of matrix structure is thus beneficial. Matrix structure provides various benefits like it allows better planning and control to complete project within specified time by focusing resources on a single project. It leads to motivation because functional staff can focus on project completion. Matrix structure is quite flexible and works effectively in dynamic environment. Top management needs not to take long-term course of action, rather timely strategies suitable to environmental needs can be designed. Matrix structure causes certain problems in practice. These are violation of unity of command, creates confusion among subordinates. They have to follow directions of two bosses. They are sometimes not clear about what to do and whose orders are to be followed first. Conflicts are created between project manager and functional head as they both try to dominate the subordinates and prove their superiority. There may be delay in decision making due to internal problems of conflicts and power struggle. These problems occur due to faulty implementation of matrix structure. The top management's active role and implementation of matrix structure with right perspective will help in overcoming these problems and attaining various benefits. Next is free-form organization structure. Free-form organization structure, also called as organic or autocratic organization, relies on the premise that organization is an open system and primary task of every manager is to facilitate change in the organization. For this, there is a need of greater adaptability and organizational flexibility. Free-form organization structure lay less emphasis on departments, positions, or traditional superior subordinate relationships and put more emphasis on equality, flexibility, efficiency, and teamwork. In today's highly dynamic environment, most of the organizations are opting for free-form organizations designed in the form of task force, teams, committees, or virtual organizations. Now, let us discuss these free-form models. First is task force. Task force is a temporarily created group of people drawn from various departments to solve some unusual organizational problem of non-recurring nature and which can't be solved by single individual or single department. When the task or mission of task force is over, the personnel return back to their original department. Task force differs from matrix organization in the sense that matrix organization personnel are frequently assigned tasks in different projects at different times. In an organization, task force may be constituted to select a new project or to develop a new product. Task leader coordinates the activities of task force, but he is not the boss of members of the task force. The use of task force results in the various benefits like the problems are effectively dealt with as executives with special and different skills pool their talents. The informal communication and unstructured authority provide stimulus for creative thinking. It does not put additional financial burden on the organization. It leads to the development of executives when they collectively work on unusual problems. Task force sometimes creates problems like departmental heads feel that task force disturbs the routine functioning of their departments as the services of their key personnel are used for solving unusual problem being faced by the organization. Personnel in task force build a close-knit group and start enjoying independence and informal relationships. It makes management and supervision of such people difficult for departmental heads when these personnel return back to their departments. These problems can be overcome by convincing departmental heads about the importance of task force in solving unusual problems and a personnel about the importance of formal organization. It is also to be taken care of that task force is not created unnecessarily. And next form is team. Team implies a group of people in the organization created for completing various assignments with high commitment. Nowadays, various organizations are promoting teamwork culture and replacing old hierarchical structures with teams of different types. For example, in IT companies, majority of the work is done by teams created on project basis. Different types of teams that may be created in an organization are lead team. This is the most common form of teams that comprises of manager and his immediate subordinates. The team plans and executes business activities in its defined area of responsibility and sets example through teamwork. Members of the team get motivated when manager follows the approach do as I do. Next type is problem solving team. It is also called as corrective action team. This team is created to solve specific problems of the organization requiring group action. Members of such team are drawn from those areas where problems exist as they have intimate knowledge of problem. Team may involve one department or more than one department depending on the situation. Solutions suggested by team are implemented. Next is self-managing team. Self-managing teams are called as self-managed, self-directed or empowered teams are becoming popular in the organization to meet the challenges of dynamic business environment. These teams set their own goals, create their own schedules, review their performance as a group and improve their own work processes. They take full responsibility for the quality of their products or services. They are empowered to carry out various managerial functions. For the success of self-managing teams, it is necessary that these teams are carefully constituted and training is imparted to members to carry out their responsibilities in the team effectively. Next comes cross-functional team. This team comprises of persons drawn from same hierarchical level but from different functional areas, especially from those areas which have high interdependence. The main purpose is to solve problems or develop new ideas. Cross-functional teams are created at various levels to solve problems which can't be solved by a specific functional department. Another free-form organization structure is committee. Committee is a formal group of persons appointed to deal with matters entrusted to it. Committee decides the matter through meetings. Authority may be delegated to committee either to make a final decision on the matter or simply submit the relevant information on the matter. Common types of committee that exist in almost every organization include purchase committee, welfare committee, budget committee, grievance committee and finance committee. A committee can be formed at any level of the organization. Its members can be drawn from any department or level, and they can be made member of more than one committee. Next is virtual organization. The concept of virtual organization is of recent origin in the management field. Virtual organization is a temporary alliance between two or more organizations that work together for a particular venture. Virtual organization has no traditional boundaries, works on mutual trust, uses core competencies of each partner and uses technology for informational networks. Virtual organization generates synergy by using core competencies of each partner. Many virtual organizations have been created in telecommunication sector in India. Along with virtual organizations, concept of virtual offices is also becoming popular, especially in information technology sector. Virtual office does not require physical office space and individual desks, but needs portable communication tools like laptop, computers, cellular phones, fax machines, video conferencing system, etc. Employees equipped with these tools are not required to go to their offices. They can do their work from homes, customers' offices, or any other convenient place. Virtual offices allow flexibility to individuals in designing their work schedule and workplace as work is performed through telecommuting. To fulfill the needs of employees for social interaction, some organizations ask their employees to attend office for some days in a week or month, while on other days they are allowed to work through telecommuting. Different forms of organization structure, as discussed, have various benefits as well as problems. Therefore, many organizations prefer to use a combination of more than one form. Next is change and organization structure. Organizational changes are a necessity to keep pace with changing environment. Organization structure once established can't remain effective forever. This needs to be changed. Any planned change requires structural changes, that is redefining the nature of relationships among different organizational positions through change in span of control, that is number of subordinates under one boss, change in number of hierarchical level, change in form of organization, or change in functional authority or centralization of authority. Structural changes affect former reporting relationships, responsibilities, roles, autonomy, formal interaction pattern, informal relations and individual efficiency. Therefore, management should determine the outcomes desired from its organization structure and match the structure with changing needs. Organization structure should be changed as per the demand of prevailing business environment so as to facilitate management action, encourage openness and efficiency, stimulate creativity, enhance job satisfaction, and promote better communication and optimum use of organizational resources. Let us now summarize what we have learnt in this module. Organization structure is the framework or pattern of former relationships among activities, tasks, and people in the organization. It is the basic framework within which a manager's decision-making behavior takes place. Division of work and coordination are the basic issues involved in designing of organization structure. Structure of an organization contributes to organizational effectiveness. Therefore, it should be logical, rational, and flexible. There are various types of organization structure, namely line organization structure, line and staff organization structure, functional structure, divisional organization structure, matrix structure, and free form structure. An organization can design its structure in any form or in hybrid form, that is using a combination of more than one form. Organizational changes are necessary to keep pace with changing environment. Organization structure once established can't remain effective forever. This needs to be changed. Any planned change requires structural changes, that is redefining the nature of relationships among different organizational positions through change in span of control, change in number of hierarchical level, change in a form of organization, and change in functional authority or centralization of authority. Structural changes affect formal reporting relationships, responsibilities, autonomy, formal interaction pattern, informal relations, and individual efficiency. Therefore, management should determine the outcomes desired from its organization structure and match the structure with changing needs. Organization structure should be changed as per the demand of prevailing business environment so as to facilitate management action, encourage openness and efficiency, stimulate creativity, enhance job satisfaction, and promote better communication and optimum use of organizational resources. Thank you.